Hello, welcome to Vietnamese lesson from Beautiful Vietnamese channel. Today we're gonna talk about a very first lesson in learning Vietnamese. This lesson will give you a basis of how to learn Vietnamese effectively. Some of my foreign friends said that the grammar of Vietnamese is kind of easy. However, the pronunciation is a huge challenge for them and they cannot overcome that obstacle. So why that hard? Let's take a look at the structure of Vietnamese to understand why it becomes so hard for foreigners to learn this language. So, the smallest unit of Vietnamese called tiếng. Lots of tiếng combined can become a từ, which means word. And lots of từ combined can become a câu, which means sentence. And lots of câu combined can become a đoạn văn, which means paragraph. So, to understand Vietnamese, we should understand the smallest unit of it, which is tiếng. Then, what is a tiếng? I will give a Vietnamese word as an example to demonstrate that, like màn hình, which means screen. So this is a từ, and each of this one is tiếng. So a từ, a word, can consist of only one tiếng or more than one tiếng. Like in this case, we have two tiếng to combine a word, a từ. Therefore, to understand Vietnamese structure, we should understand the smallest unit, which is tiếng. The structure of a tiếng is as below. It consists of a vowel, the front consonant, the back consonant, and go along with this structure is a tone. So, let's take an example. This is a tiếng of Vietnamese. The letter A here demonstrates the vowel. The letter B demonstrates the front consonant. And the letter N demonstrates the back consonant. And overall, this symbol demonstrate one of the 6 tones in Vietnamese, and we pronounce it bàn, bàn. We will talk about the pronunciation later, but let's see what affects the pronunciation in Vietnamese. As other language, there are lots of factors build up the Vietnamese tiếng. The first thing is shape of the mouth. This one mostly used when you want to pronounce the vowel. So, which only adjust the shape of your mouth, you can easily pronounce the vowel of Vietnamese, and maybe other language as well. The second thing is the tones and the lips. These factors mostly affect the consonants, front and back. So, by moving your tones and your lips, you can easily add a consonant in the front or in the back of the vowel. And sometimes you need your breath as well. Finally is the use of your throat. This one is for the tones, and it is the hardest point, because with the shape of the mouth or the tones or the lips, you can imitate the Vietnamese speaker to know how to pronounce the word. However, you cannot see their throat to pronounce the tone. People can change the tone without changing their shape of mouth or the tones or the lips. For example, let me demonstrate the 6th tone of a word in Vietnamese. A, 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 a. You can see that my mouth doesn't change when I pronounce the word. because I just adjust my throat. That's why people call Vietnamese a guttural language, which means like we use a lot of words generated by the throat. It's really hard for foreigner, and it also makes Vietnamese more flexible, and when other people see we're talking, they just think we are singing. And that's also the reason why Vietnamese have a lot of way to laugh. If a Westerner can just laugh like haha or ha ha ha, Vietnamese can laugh like ha ha, something like that. Okay, so how to conquer this obstacle? We're gonna talk about this in maybe the next few lessons, but today I just want to introduce about the vowel. Why? Because in Vietnamese, a tiếng can lack of the front consonant or back consonant or the tone, but if it doesn't have the vowel, it cannot be called a tiếng. Like this word again, I can erase the B and we still can pronounce it and, or I can erase the N, I can still pronounce it ba, or I can erase the tone. Actually this is another tone, but just suppose that I already erased the tone, and I can call it ban. However, if I erase the vowel, there's no way I can pronounce this word, or it's not even a word. So that's why the vowel is very important, and learning how to pronounce the vowel gives you a key to open other doors in Vietnamese. Okay, let's move on to the vowel. How many vowels are there in Vietnamese? Do you know? The answer is 12. Okay, so let me write out them. Okay, so now we have 12 vowels of Vietnamese. Let's go one by one. Okay, so this letter in alphabet is called A, but in Vietnamese it's called A. So the tip to pronounce this letter correctly is open your mouth widely, as wide as possible. Until you hear your voice become lighter, your pronunciation is correct. If your pronunciation is still kind of heavy, for example, or your pronunciation is wrong, and you should try again. Some culture they have the custom to make their mouth as small as possible when they are talking, and that's a setback for them to pronounce Vietnamese, because in Vietnamese we have a culture that if someone don't open their mouth when they are talking, Vietnamese will consider them dangerous. Oh, this guy is so dangerous because even when he's talking, he doesn't open his mouth. Something like that. Or maybe you will be considered selfish or something like that because you don't let your money out. You don't open your mouth, which means that like there is no way you will let anything go out opened. Something like that. So try to open your mouth as much as possible when pronounce the letter A. From now on, remember in your mind that this letter is no longer A, it becomes A. The second vowel, here is just the name A, but we cannot pronounce it when it's standalone. Why? Because there is no back consonant. Okay, so let's write it down. Yes, cannot pronounce if there is no consonant in the back. But it doesn't mean that if we add any consonant, we can pronounce it. For example, if we add the consonant B, there is no way Vietnamese can pronounce this one. We should add a suitable consonant, for example, M, so we can pronounce it and so on. But we will talk about it later. The third vowel, called it also has the same feature as the second vowel, which means cannot be pronounced if there is no consonant in the back. The fourth vowel, pronounced as E. It's no longer E, it becomes E. So how to pronounce it? You should stretch your mouth into the true side, like it as a preparation, and then pronounce e. Remember that you should stretch the lip before pronounce this. Some people do it simultaneously, like ear, and their pronunciation is wrong. Stretch the lip first and then pronounce ear. Don't do it simultaneously. The fifth vowel is a. To pronounce this one, you should push the chin backward and push the half of your mouth above forward. A. And sometimes it's necessary to add some power, some energy to the chin, so it's become harder. A. The sixth vowel called E. I think it doesn't take much time to pronounce this vowel, but it's better to understand how to pronounce it so that in the future, when you want to combine these vowels to other consonants to make lots of combination, you don't get trouble. So, how to pronounce this correctly? Again, you stretch your lip and then add the energy, the power to the middle of your mouth. E. And that's it. Okay, so we finished the first 6 vowels. The next 6 vowels, I will talk about it later in the next video. But first, let me explain how to remember this pronunciation. We can practice it like this. Okay, don't think about the second and the third vowel because they cannot pronounce without the consonant in the back. Then we have 4th vowel left. Now I will choose one of them to pronounce, and you have to guess what is the number of that vowel. For example, if I pronounce ear, you should answer number 2, something like that. That's the way to practice listening. Okay, let's do it a little bit. A, E, ear, ear, A, E, A, E, ear, E, A. Okay, can you guess what I pronounce? Hopefully you can. And if you have some Vietnamese friends, you also can practice with them like this. And you can even change the role of 2 people. Like you can pronounce and let him or her guess what the number you are pronouncing. So you can check if your pronunciation is correct or not. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video. If you feel it interesting, please subscribe or share to people who want to learn Vietnamese. See you in the next lesson.